I'm playing against Bhabhatosh Chowdhury. His rating is 1949 and he's travelled all the way from USA to play at the ChessBase India Chess Club. He also has done his chess improvement at the chess mood training he told me before the game, so I was a little bit serious and I decided to play the Caro Kann. Like, I have to play carefully against him. ED, CD, bishop d3, knight to c6, c3 played in the position, and queen c7. This has been my go-to line against this variation, stopping bishop f4 for the time being. You can see Bhabhatosh trying to recollect his opening preparation, what he has learned at chess mood from Grandmaster Avetic Grigorian. He goes knight to e2, bishop jumps out to g4. Now the reason why I am confident is because I drew a game in this very variation against someone at the ChessBase India Chess Club. And you can see there I'm also trying to recollect this line. Now the reason why this makes this game is special is because I played out that preparation. After that game I prepared and I played it out here, but in the ensuing positions I was a little bit uncomfortable. So here bishop d6 is the main line. Actually you first even take this knight because f3 is the idea, but I had prepared knight f6, so I recollected my lines and I played knight f6. Now the best move here as per my prep was bg5, but Bhabhatosh instantly plays f3 and now I'm pretty happy because after queen h4 now there are two moves. One is rook g8, so that if you ever hit my bishop, let's say with knight f4, then I can play bg6 and after takes my rook is no longer on h8. But the other move here is bishop to g6. By the way, to rook g8 you also have to contend with bishop h7, because if knight h7 there is queen h5. So I tried to think about all these lines here, lost a lot of time, but I remembered that you could also play bishop g6 here, which is a very weird move because if he takes here after bishop g6 he takes. I cannot take h g6 because my rook is hanging, but I take f g6, that weakens my e6 pawn. But after king f7 and rook e8 I'm doing pretty well. So you can see that I am just trying to recollect all the lines here, but for a 5-minute game this is poor time management. And it's high time to make the move. So here I played bishop g6, which is pretty good. Bhabhatosh now takes the bishop, f takes g6 has been played. The engines evaluate this position as equal, so I was very confident with my prep. But guys, it's one thing to prepare a line, quite another to know what are the nuances. So I would recommend everyone, when you prepare something which is complicated and offbeat, play a few games. Play a few games against your friends, play it against maybe some engine. Just get a feel for what the moves are, because here it is clear that black is not going to be able to play normal chess. Okay, now it's time for Bhabhatosh to think what is the way in which he should continue. The most natural move is knight f4 because it not only threatens a g6 pawn but also the e6 pawn, and he plays it. And I quickly move my king to f7 because this is something that I did remember. And now actually the black is doing pretty okay, knight d3, and here the best move is to play e5, takes, and somehow after, let's say you take knight e5, queen e5, black is doing pretty well in this position. I can go back with my queen, I can get my bishop out, maybe the rook comes here, other rook comes to f8 and king g8. But I was not sure how to continue here, and so I make a mistake here of putting my bishop on d6. This is a dubious move, and what Bhabhatosh could have done here is played bishop f4. That's a very powerful move positionally, because after this trades, white is positionally better without the queens. All the dynamics in the position are there because the queens are on the board. Now knight to d2 is played in the position. What next to do is the question. Once again e5 should have been played, but I go h6. My idea is to play g5. You can see how ambitious I am. here, which is not a bad move. h6 is pretty decent. And now f4 is a possibility, but if you go like f4 trying to clamp in on the e5 square, I have g5, and then my rook is unleashed down the h file, and this is not something that my opponent would like. So f4 maybe not the best. There's also rook e1 in the position to attack here. With time now, Bhabhatosh has 2 minutes 26 seconds. I have 2 minutes 11 seconds. This is very slow blitz game. You can see we've just played 14 moves in the last 6 minutes. Rook e1 played here. Yeah, it's time to push the queen away with g5. g5 has been played. Queen to h3, attacking e6. The question is, should you bring your h rook or the a rook? Now I can bring my h rook and then tuck my king here like this, but I decided to bring my a rook so that the other rook can come to f8. Now knight to f1, and the next move also is important. Now one idea is to just play rook f8 and king g8, and I think black is doing pretty okay in that position, just keeping the king safely in the and artificially castling there. But I was very attracted to the move e5. You can see that the amount of time that is being used is going to hurt me at the end, and I play the best move in the position, which is e5. So a pretty good move here. Bhabhatosh, who is 45 seconds more on the clock, has to think, because if this is not taken, I might even threaten to push my pawn to e4. So he takes on e5, knight takes on e5. Now the knight on d3 is hanging, so again it must take. Knight takes d3, and now rook takes would have been a better move, but I take with the bishop. Okay, that's not a problem. Now Bhabhatosh plays his bishop to e3, which is a good move. It's now not so easy to play as black, but you have to double down the e file. That could be an idea. Also rook hf8 followed by king g8 still remains potent. I decide to play b6 to just cover up my a7 pawn. Rook a d1, and now rook hf8 is important, but from this point onwards I see the time, I see my position, and I'm not really thrilled. I play queen c4, and I am looking at the a2 pawn. It is poisoned because rook a1 hits a7, and Bhabhatosh wants to save his pawn, but then at this point he understands that maybe he doesn't have to save it, because the moment I will take it, he can go rook a1. So his next move is absolutely genius. A very nice move played by him. He goes queen to f5. Now I must be careful. I can come back with my queen perhaps. I should move my bishop back to d6 and play that position. But instead, with just 45 seconds left here, the position is around equal, but I am tempted by this poisoned pawn on a2, and Bhabhatosh instantly plays rook a1. I am completely lost now because the rook is coming in. I win the b2 pawn, but look at my king. The guy who had not been taken care of is now just completely come under a lot of pressure. If I go king g8 now, there are many things. Maybe queen g6 is just losing. So I played king f8 here, and also once again Bhabhatosh moves his queen in. He's threatening a mate here, also a mate here, and well, with just 12 seconds left on my clock, rook e7 played. Check. Maybe he could have taken the rook and taken on g7. I go back, rook e8. Now he takes on e8. Knight takes e8 has been played. 6 seconds left. He has 36 seconds. And now bishop d2 is the winning move, but bishop c1 is not the best move, because now I can take on c3. So I have 3 seconds. Am I going to fight back in this game or what? And he has 20 seconds. What does he do? He plays. Also, he's very nervous. He's down to 14, 13, 12. It gives a check, I can take it. And oh, I blunder, it's an illegal move. But the last position after queen takes a3, rook e5, knight f6 could be something around equal. But of course, I was totally busted in this game, and taking on a2 proved to be a huge blunder. And it was an interesting game. It also showed me how preparing an opening is not enough. You should also have some experience of playing it over the board.